welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and I got a review for you today. Today we're going to be talking about Boom Studios' Rare Flavors, issue number 1. It is written by Ram V, art by Filipe Andrade, and then letters by Andworld Designs. Before we get started on this review, please like, comment, subscribe on this guy's channel. Hit the bell. You never know when I'm going to be dropping videos. I don't have a schedule, so if you want to stay in tune to my videos, that will help. Alright, so let's get into it. This one was a little confusing once you start the read, but as it gets going, it gets a little better. But that's why you got me here, right? So we're starting out, and basically it's a letter that's being written to this person, Mancy, and the letter's kind of over here and all throughout the book. But we meet our main character, and he's on the cover, and this guy's name is Ruben Baksh, and I'm going to try and do my best with pronunciations of the names, but there's a lot of Middle Eastern names, I would say. I don't even know if that's the right term, but let's just go with that. So we got this Ruben guy, and he's writing this letter to this Mancy, and he's basically telling him that he's leaving what he was currently doing to go on this mission. Not necessarily a mission like you think, but a goal, something like that. But he's going to complete his destiny kind of thing, and he explains that it spurred out of the moment that Anthony Bourdain passed away in January 8, 2018. When that chef died, he explains that was like his window into the world of a new experience, and it was basically flavors and cooking and stuff like that. As he's telling this letter, we have this painting that he's standing in front of, and it's basically, this warlord kind of looking figure and a smaller guy that's going after him. And as he's explaining in the letter, it kind of hints that this, the barbarian that's shown in that painting is him from a different time. He even explains that whenever they paint him, they always get his eyes wrong, and he kind of takes off his glasses so you can see the difference in the eyes. So I'm assuming that this is like some immortal person or something like that. That's where the book gets a little weird at the moment. There's not a lot of explanation there yet. So basically we got this guy Ruben, and his goal is to find these rare flavors and stuff like that. And so we go to the next page and we meet these two individuals, and this is Dilshan, which I think is this guy right here, and then we get Minnie Meow, which is the cat, and this guy right here, which is Delkesh. They are basically like assassins or hunters, and specifically they're after our main dude Ruben. Whether it's because he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing or something like that, but they know something that we don't know, and there's a reason they don't want him in the general public thing, but they kind of have this in the background. So we get to the main plot of the story, and we get Ruben, and he's going to this cafe after leaving that museum, and he's basically meeting with our true main character of the story, and this is going to be Mohan, or Mo for short. So once they meet each other, we find out that Ruben is going to pay this guy Mo, and basically he wants him to film a film. We do find out that Mo, that eventually in the past he used to make films, but he has quit recently just because they didn't do so well, kind of thing. We find out that it's not a film that he wants him to film, it's actually a documentary, and he wants him to go around meeting the best of chefs and making the best foods. He explains that he is a fantastic chef himself, and throughout life he's acquired this this adequate taste for rare flavors, and he keeps mentioning that over and over. So eventually Mo declines. He says that he doesn't want to make films anymore. As this is going on, they're sharing some tea, and we get this recipe for this tea, and we get the story behind this tea, and it's about this person that was left a tea recipe, and I'm going to say this wrong, but it's masala chai. But basically, he was left this recipe on this tea. We actually get on, you can make this tea at home. They give you the full ingredients, how to brew it, how he brewed it in the story. But eventually, it's this guy that made this tea. You know, he starts making it for people. They explain that it's so good that he can sell it, and that's exactly what he does. He opens a stall, starts selling it. It becomes a prosperous business. He actually gets a wife and like 2 kids, you know, from this, and eventually he opens like another business. But all of a sudden, a pandemic hits, and these stalls that he opened don't do so well, and eventually his wife and his 2 kids leave, and he goes back to basically the beginning, and he's back to, you know, basically being homeless and, you know, being on the beach and making this tea again. At this time, like, you know, Mo is kind of weirded out about the story, but we also find out that it was Ruben that was basically talking to this guy about the tea story, and at the very end, Ruben explains that he had one question for the guy, and he was like, "Why do you keep doing it?" And the guy just explains that, "What else can I do? This is all I have. This is enough." This is kind of where Mo declines, like, about doing the documentary, explaining that, you know, that he didn't want to be a part of it. There is this scene right here that Ruben explains that the reason he hired him was because he was interested in his first film that he made. Mo kind of explains, "Oh, you saw my college film," and he's like, "No, your very first film." And we see that it's Mo as a very young kid, and he was filming like his family cooking or something like that. Mo gets excitedly mad, and this is extremely why he declines. You know, actually leaves out in a rage after this, explaining that that's something special to him, that he doesn't even know how he's seen that, you know, and he should have never seen that kind of thing. And that's when kind of Mo storms out and leaves. We get kind of more of the end of the story with this, with the chai tea story, because we have the 3 hunters, and yes, the cat has, like, it's an entity and it has a name. Evidently, it talks or something like that. But we have these 3 hunters, and they're basically, you know, following our dude Ruben. And we come across a scene right here where they find the, you know, the cafe that he was having the conversation with Mo, and we see right here that the dude that he talked to at the stall, he actually ate that dude, you know, after he got that story, and he crammed him in some oven while he was having the conversation with Mo. At the very end of the book, we get the scene where Mo does come back. It's you know, back before these guys found the dead body or whatever. But we get Mo that comes back, and he agrees to do the documentary. And then the next thing we get is this scene that looks like it's from the future, and because we did get the explanation that the only thing that Ruben wants out of the documentary is he wants to see himself on the big screen, and he wants to see his name flash up at the end of the documentary, and that's it. He doesn't want no money. He's rich beyond means, kind of thing. So we get the scene right here, and there is kind of like a meme. I'll read it to you. It says Webflix, you know, kind of like Netflix or whatever. But it looks like, you know, the documentary has been made, but our dude Ruben is not here next to Mo, and that's where the issue leaves off. There is no cover hint, nothing like that. But that is my review for Rare Flavours. I loved it. It was fantastic. I'm a big fan of Ram V. I already like this artist. They did Layla Starr and the Mini Das. I don't know, y'all. It was fantastic. I can't wait for the second issue. There's a big amount of mystery and a lot of things in this book, but I think as we get forward, they will explain that. That's all I got for you guys. Let me know down below what you thought about this book. Did you like it? Did you not like it after getting into it? I could see how some, you know, it was very wordy, but for me, it read really quick. But that's all I got for you guys. Thanks for watching.